Welcome to a new session of human health and disease. We are at the middle part of the chapter where we are going to deal with two major types of disease, and those two different types of disease. The first one is AIDS, second one is cancer. Okay, one is infectious, other one is non-infectious disease, but both are deadly. Okay, so quite harmful, which is going to kill the humans, right? So with this, let's move on to the next heading, AIDS. Now let us go for the expansion of the term AIDS. It is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay. Now as the name says, AIDS is not a congenital disease. It is not the birth defect, but this is an acquired one where the virus enters into the body and it will infect the humans, causing the disease AIDS. So hence the name acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So as we said, immunodeficiency meaning immune system gets a deficit by this disease, where the human will lose all his immunity, leading to different types of syndrome. Syndrome is nothing but group of disorders. We call it as a syndrome. Disease is single. Typhoid is a disease, malaria is a disease, while AIDS is a syndrome. Why we call it as a disease along with the syndrome? Because the syndrome is nothing but group of disease. So here we don't find a single symptom or the disease, but we find multiple disorders in this condition. So that's why the name syndrome. Okay. So let's go to the causative organism. As you are very aware about the cause, so it is caused by HIV virus. Caused by HIV virus. Now how can we expand this HIV? The expansion of this is human immunodeficiency virus. It is a viral disease. So in simply in other terms, we also call it as human immunovirus. Now here the human immune system will be made deficit by this virus only. Okay. Then regarding the AIDS disease is concerned, it is a deadly disease. Till now there is no treatment for this, though we give lot of medicines, but those medicines are temporarily. So in case of the AIDS disease, if the person gets it, then death is inevitable. So he cannot avoid the death. Okay. Now here almost regarding the AIDS, so AIDS was first reported in 1981 and it has killed. So it has killed more than 25 million people all over the world. So it has killed how many people? More than 25 million. This is not a small number. Okay. So it's a large number only, where it has killed around 25 million people all over the world. So that's why it's a deadly disease. Okay. Then how it is transmitted from one person to another person? As we say, AIDS is also a contagious disease. It is easily spread from one person to another person. So how exactly it is spread? So the mode of transmission. This is the first point is sexual contact with an infected person. Then contaminated blood transfusion. Then through needles during intravenous injections. In drug addicts. Then from mother to fetus through placenta. That means if the fluids will come in contact with other person, then definitely the person is going to affect with the disease. So the major mode of transmission is through sexual contact with an infected person, or we also call this as sex with multiple partners. That means if one person is infected, suppose if there is a sexual contact, and through the sexual contact the virus is spread from one person to another person through the semen or even through the smear of the genital organs, fluids of the genital organs. Then second point is contaminated blood transfusion. That means if one person is infected with the virus, during emergency condition when we transfuse the blood, that means there will be a donor, there will be a recipient. When donor donates his blood without detecting for the disease, then ultimately it is called as an unknown cause. If the blood is not diagnosed properly, okay, if the blood is not tested for various kinds of diseases during that time, then the recipient will get the disease. So that is why nowadays all the precautionary measures are taken before the transfusion of the blood, because all the pathological tests will be conducted just to identify, just to clarify the doubt of the disease. Okay. So contaminated blood transfusion. Okay. Then through needles during intravenous injections in drug addicts. So drug addicts, they will be using the same syringe. Now what they do, they will be injecting the drugs in their veins. If the same syringe or injection is used by another person, then if one person is contaminated, chance of getting contamination is very high. It is too high. As a result, due to this needle during intravenous injections, definitely the person is going to get infected. Okay. So this is one more point. Then from mother to fetus through placenta. That means if the mother is infected, through her placenta even the fetus also gets infected, right. So that is why chance of getting the disease is very high during these conditions. So almost all these are the modes of the transmissions. That means if a person comes in contact with the fluids of an infected person, then definitely that person is going to get affected with the disease. Okay. So this is the mode of transmission. Okay. Then what are the symptoms that we observe here? Let us go to the symptoms. In the symptoms, we have bouts of fever, okay, so recurrent fever will be there, then diarrhea. Diarrheal condition is nothing but it's the dysentery, then along with that weight loss. So here we find major symptom is weight loss. There is a huge weight loss in the persons. okay, within few months or within few years also. Okay. So, why few months, why few years, I will tell you. Symptoms includes a bouts of fever. Bouts of fever means initially the person will get fever, ultimately that is a sign of an infection. If we are getting fever, then ultimately it is a sign of an infection. If we are infected with any sort of pathogen, then we get fever. Our body will show this symptom that fever is nothing but it will increase the temperature to kill the pathogens, and hence by that symptom we will come to know that we have got the infection. Okay. Now, it does not mean that every fever is nothing but it is not this deadly disease. There might be normal viral fever also. Okay, it is an HIV. Bouts of fever, that means initially fever will come, later on after taking the paracetamols it will drop down, the person will feel that he is quite normal, and later on again fever will come. Okay, that means the fever will be reoccurring, okay, continuously. So, that is why we call it as bouts of fever. Okay. Then diarrhea, diarrheal condition, we observe it. Due to this diarrhea there will be huge weight loss. That means diarrhea is not continuous, diarrhea may stop, but there will be a huge weight loss because immune system goes on collapsing. As a result, there will be weight loss. As a result, the major symptom that we can find in the HIV person, if you saw anyone, you can see this major symptom. Based on this, we will come to know that he is infected with the HIV in majority of the conditions. Okay. So, apart from normal health conditions, okay, normal weight loss is different. Okay, that means suppose if a person is having around 75 kg, if he loses around 5 kg, then we do not find that much difference. But suppose if a person is of 75 kg and suddenly if his body weight gets reduced to 40 kgs, do you find the difference? Definitely, you will identify the person will be looking very weak, very anemic, right. By that we will come to know that there is a drastic change in the morphology, right. So, that is why as far as the health part is concerned, when do we call as a person healthy is when we look at that person, he or she should look normal, then only we call it as yes, they are healthy. Okay. That means you should not be too lean or too fat, moderate. Okay. Based on your height, you have to maintain the weight. Okay. So, weight loss. Other symptoms are also observed. Respiratory problems will be there, digestive problems will be there, liver problems will be there, kidney problems will be there. These are the later symptoms. Okay. So, they are the later symptoms that we are going to observe in case of this HIV patients. Okay. Then these are the symptoms. Then what exactly the virus will do? The virus is going to attack our most strongest cell, that is a helper T cells. Okay. Now, what will happen here? The virus will attack helper T cells and even macrophage cells. Then when it attacks the helper T cell, remember helper T cell is the strongest cell, as already we have discussed in the CMI, cell mediated immunity. It is a major cell that is going to identify the pathogens. Now, this virus is so clever enough to attack that cell which is most intelligent. Okay. This is why what happens is when the virus infects the helper T cells or the macrophage cells, because macrophage is an engulfing cell, when it engulfs the pathogen, ultimately this virus will release its genetic material into the nucleus of our host cells, and ultimately it starts to multiply in our host cell only. It makes our body cell as its factory, and our cell, body cell, will become a virus factory where it is going to produce a lot many virus, and these viruses either they are released one by one from our infected cell, or they will multiply drastically, they will burst out our cells, they will infect the neighboring cells. This is why our immune system goes on collapsing, goes on lowering. That's why the immune system gets lowered, and hence the immune system gets deficit. It gets deficit. That's why immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, so due to this deficiency, ultimately when we lose all the immunity, our body will become a major site for invading many pathogens, and our body becomes very susceptible to any kind of pathogens. So that's why any kind of bacteria, virus, fungus can invade in our body, multiply, and they can go out. So that's why our body becomes very susceptible, very sensitive to any kind of pathogens. Though our body has got lot of immunity with respect to other bacteria, fungus, even certain parasites like toxoplasma, but still body loses all the resistant power that it was having earlier. So look at the virus, how it is going to kill our cells, tissues, organs, and finally they will kill the humans. Okay. So here it is our body loses the resistance against, as it was having early resistant against the parasites like the toxoplasma. Okay, you have to remember, it is an objective question which will be asked. That means earlier, as the body was having its immunity against these pathogens, okay, as I have listed, like the parasites like a toxoplasma, certain kinds of bacteria, fungus, okay, other sorts of pathogens that were invading our body. So these earlier our body will be having the resistance against these pathogens, but after infection of the HIV, we lose resistant against even these pathogens also. That's why our body becomes very susceptible, very sensitive. Followed? So look at this. That means our immune system is going to deploy, it's going to destroy, and finally death. Okay. Then what is the lifespan of the person who is infected with HIV? The lifespan of the person who is infected with the HIV is within a year, few months, we say few months based on its intensity, or it might be few years. Okay, few years means up to 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. So based on the medication, the person can survive at the most 5 to 10 years. Okay, if he is strong enough earlier after infection, though in the initial part he is taking all the precautionary measures. Precautionary measures means he is taking all the medicines against the virus. We call them as antiretroviral medicines. After taking all these things, then he can extend his death period, but death is inevitable. Death is unavoidable. Okay, lifespan is few months to 5 to 10 years. Maximum extent, death is certain. Okay. Then what are the preventive measures? So let's look at the preventive measures of the disease AIDS. As there is no treatment, though we are giving treatment in the form of injections, in the form of antibiotics, but those antibiotics can lower the multiplication of the pathogen to certain extent, but it does not kill the pathogens. Hence, we have certain precautionary measures. So that's why we say precaution is better than treatment. So we have to take certain precautionary measures. So prevention. In the preventive measure, whatever the cause you have studied, avoid sexual contact with an infected person, right? That means or sex with multiple partner has to be avoided. Then use of condoms. Okay. So avoid the blood transfusion of an infected person. Then avoid the use of the syringes which during intravenous injections, whatever the syringes are used, they have to be avoided. So, whatever the symptoms, not symptoms, the mode of transmission is there, it has to be avoided. So, that is the preventive measures. Okay. Then, so list all those things. Avoid sexual contact with an infected person. Then avoid infected blood transfusion. Then use of condoms. Okay. Then avoid syringes during intravenous injection. That means the same syringe should not be used. First of all, drug addiction is only the bad habit where it is going to kill the person in another way, but during that process, if the HIV gets infected, contaminated, then ultimately it is going to kill the person. Okay. Then along with that, even the NGOs, okay, as well as the government organizations, where we call them as NACO. NACO is National AIDS Control Organization. Okay, so it's an organization. Mainly this organization is by the central board only. So central board meaning it's controlled by the central government. So NACO, National AIDS Control Organization. So they have released a slogan. They have released a slogan. Don't die of ignorance. Okay, so this is the famous statement that has been given by this NACO, National AIDS Control Organization. Don't die of ignorance, because we will be knowing all the consequences by the mode of transmission. As a result, knowingly don't get the disease. So that's why don't die of ignorance. That means if you ignore something, then ultimately with respect to disease only, I am talking with respect to disease, if you are showing any ignorance, ultimately you are diseased. Now whenever we move out, whenever we go out, ultimately if we are bringing the COVID disease, then it's our fault, it's our ignorance. We know it, still it has not gone, still it is there, still it is there, but we are ignoring it. Okay, we feel as if the COVID has entirely gone, and we are unaware of the waves that are coming, third wave, fourth wave. So when it comes and hits, we don't know, but already it has been started. So we should have that awareness, and for that awareness, what precautionary measures that has to be taken, we know it. But if you are not taking any precautionary measures, then ultimately who is responsible for that? It's you only. Understood? Okay. So when you get disease, you are going to spread it. When you spread it, we don't know, we are going to lose our family members. So that is little bit a risky process. That's why knowingly we are killing the one who are in our family. So that's why, so all the disease, contagious disease, I am talking about all the contagious disease, because as we are facing the disease at presently, now it's quite deadly also. Quite deadly means no need to get panic, but we don't know due to that mutation, as mutation occurs very fast in the viruses, as we presently were facing with the Delta virus, we don't know when it will come near you. Okay, so that's why be aware about all these things. So that's why we call it as ignorance. Don't ignore any such kind of disease. Okay, even if there is a need, necessity to go out, take the precautionary measures. Okay. So this NACO has given against this AIDS, don't die of ignorance. Then apart from this, even NGOs are also working. This is non-government organizations. So NGOs, it is non-government organizations. Okay. Now here these NGOs, they are also working, and they are mainly focusing on the villages along with the cities to spread the awareness regarding the disease AIDS, and how exactly the disease is spread, how the disease has to be controlled. Nowadays almost AIDS has dropped down due to all these awareness programs that has been given by NACO and NGOs. So safe sexual education, how it has how the practice has to be done, okay, what are the various types of different precautionary measures, through the art, through the songs, through the drama, they are going to play in the villages. By that they are bringing awareness. Now also these organizations are working, okay, so to control the disease AIDS, right. So that's why there is no treatment for this. The treatment is, we are giving antiretroviral drugs, and it is not completely treated, remember. So for the treatment, temporary, it is a temporary treatment. Antiretroviral drugs are given in the form of antibiotic, okay, so just to prolong the death period, okay. So this is regarding the contagious disease AIDS. So with this, next we have the life cycle of HIV virus, how exactly it replicates in our body cells. So that part we are going to study in our coming class.